Hi there, so I just want to quickly show you how you can scrape your YouTube transcripts in make.com. You don't need AI or you don't need any complicated coding or any other modules. It's just all natively done in make.com. The only thing we need to do is do a HTTP request and clean up the text. So let's quickly get into it. You will need your channel ID. So you can go to a website like how to find a YouTube channel ID. You enter the YouTube channel name and it will give you the channel ID. I just quickly created this Google Sheet where I entered my own channel ID. So let me quickly delete this and we'll start from zero, just quickly build it together. So the first thing I will add is a Google Sheets module. We're gonna find search rows. I'm going to copy the Google Sheet ID, which is this middle part here, and I'm gonna enter it in the spreadsheet name. For sheet name, this will be sheet 1, I think. The standard name should be sheet 1, yes. And here I'm actually going to have it reload so it can get the information from the sheet. Okay, and channel ID, I will select that it should exist. So I'll run this module and you can see we found this spreadsheet. We found this channel ID. So the next module that we need, you can do without this module if you just want to scrape one video. But in this example, I want to show you how you can scrape multiple YouTube videos from the same YouTube channel. And in URL, we just need to enter this text. And after the equal sign, we need to get the channel ID name. Sorry, the channel ID. For date, you can enter a date that you want, and I'll just enter 1 here for the sake of this demonstration. I'm going to run this again and I'm going to select videos. The next module that we need is an HTTP module, and I'm going to select make a request. And in the URL, I'm going to enter the URL. And I'm gonna run this once to see what happens. And it returns this data. So inside this data, we're gonna need to find some part of it and we're gonna need to replace some text inside this data. I'm gonna select a text parser and I'm gonna click on match pattern. So in this text parser, we're gonna paste this text. This is a regular expression and I want to find in this data, I need to find the URLs that have the youtube.com/API/timed text in it. And I also, in this case, want to find like the English language. So I also added this. And what this is going to do is also I need to select global match to yes. And what this is going to do is going to find these URLs, obviously add the data in here. And I'm going to run this automation once again. So now it found this URL, the one that I needed. And next up, we need to find this U0026 in this URL. It's going to be the same for each URL that you find in YouTube. And we're going to need to replace this with the N symbol. And if we do that, we can basically download the captions file. So I'm going to select a tools module and I'm going to select set a variable. And I'm gonna copy this text in here, and this will be URL. I'll just call this URL, and I'm gonna select the right module, and I'm gonna run the automation once again. Let's see what happens. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So as you can see in this output, there is this U0026, and that's what we need to replace with this equal sign, and that's what we did in this output here with this formula. Next up, we're gonna download this URL with another HTTP module. We're gonna select make a request and we're gonna just enter the URL here and we're gonna run the automation once again. So this data output is basically already our subtitles, so our captions, but it is a XML file. So I'm just gonna parse this with an parse XML module and I'm gonna select the data and I'm gonna run this automation once again. So now what it did, it created an array. Basically each bundle is like one sentence or one phrase, and it also added the start and duration in seconds. But for this we don't really need that because we don't want to use all our operations to render all these bundles. So because it's a lot of bundles, this would be almost 200 operations just to get this subtitle. So what we want to do now is get the content of the array without using that many operations. So to do that, I'm gonna use another set variable module. And here I'm gonna paste in this formula that I prepared. I'm gonna call this text. And here I want to get the transcript. So I'm gonna get the transcript, and from the transcript I'm gonna get the text array, and then I'm gonna map the text array, and I wanna get the value, because if you look here, there's also a value. And this toString is basically going to take all this content and convert everything that it finds into a normal string. So I'm gonna run this once again. So now it rendered this. I'm not sure why it gives me all this object words. I think it's the 200 bundles that it found, and it's giving me each time this object name. Maybe some of you can tell me how to get rid of this as well. I'm not sure. I'm getting rid of it in the next step. And as you can see here, I also need to clean up these little things. I'm not sure why it does that. So I'm gonna add another set variable module. You can do this in one variable module, but I found just for testing, and it gets a little bit complex. So I just decided to do it in two different ones. So I'll call this text cleanup. Basically what we want to do here, we're going to grab the text and we're going to replace all these things that we don't need or want. Also this, we're going to replace by this, and also commas, because maybe you noticed that when it uses a comma, it's not adding an extra space. So I'm also going to replace the comma with a comma and a space. So all these little things is just in this module to clean up the text. I'm gonna run it again. And now we basically have a clean text with our captions. So now you can decide what to do with this text. You can obviously add a Google Doc, create a document, or you can create a Airtable row, whatever you want to do. So I'll just quickly create a Google Doc. I'll call this name, I'll just call it the title of the video, and content, I'm just gonna add the text cleanup. For location, I'll just put it in my main folder for now, and I'm gonna run it once again. And let me open my Google Drive, and here is the complete transcription of my video. In the automation that I prepared before I recorded this video, I created this automation, which is almost the same, but I'm using an Airtable. And after getting the transcription, I have it processed by ChatGPT, which converts the video into a LinkedIn post. So that's also something useful that you can incorporate in this automation. So if you have a bunch of YouTube channels that you want to scrape, this is a good way to do it. You just enter all the YouTube channel IDs here, and you just run this automation, and it will scrape all the videos for you. So this was it for today. The quick video to show you how you can scrape YouTube transcripts in make.com. I hope it was useful. I'll be sharing this automation in my community. You can get access in my community for free. I'm not sure how long it will be for free, but you can find a link in the description below this video, and I'll see you in the next one.